I was traveling in a taxi the other day in Manchester.
Can you afford a taxi?
Yeah, it was company. Did they use the word haram?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
categorically. They said haram.
Okay.
And there was an Arab kid. He came and he said, I want like a cream or something. And the guy gave it. And he goes, is it from Holland? And he goes, yes, it is. And he said, I don't want it.
The scholar was saying it on the mimbar, he was saying like this is the only thing you can do, and the fact they are stopping you from this and they're actually putting you behind the bars for being pro-Palestinian or raising your voice, it shows that it does affect.
Scholars, they said it's haram to boycott.
The men are behaving, they're not acting like hooligans or they're not acting like criminals. Oh, you saw the famous video between Piers Morgan and that Bassem Youssef.
Yeah.
He's from Egypt.
Yeah.
Why do you think he left Egypt?
They got lucky was they found oil that like not even themselves.
You talk about resourcing. Pakistan is very rich, but what's the GDP now? It's rubbish.
People actually mix the two together. So in Dubai, it's basically different to Abu Dhabi. So Dubai does not rely on the money from oil.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam wa
Walaikum assalam wa
rahmatullah.
rahmatullah.
How are you guys doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, very good.
Saud,
Naam, Hamza.
what's happening? What's new?
What's new? Yesterday there was a big, massive protest in London. I'm sure everyone has seen the coverage, and then we can discuss, inshallah, how how we led to this protest, this massive protest where everyone was involved, and then how there's difference of opinion amongst Islamic scholars. Some are saying that it's even haram to attend, and we can.
Okay,
discuss.
actually, let's start from here.
Yes.
So you said few scholars, Islamic scholars in England.
Yes.
England
And
or Western world.
Yeah, England or maybe outside the West.
Okay, they are saying that it's haram. Did they use the word haram?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Categorically. They said haram.
Okay, they said that it's haram to go in these protests.
Yes.
I have also heard that some scholars, they said it's haram to boycott.
Oh, yes,
Goods.
yes.
So what do you want to say about it?
Well, I'm no scholar, but then on the other side, the majority of the scholars, they've actually said it's actually allowed to boycott and to actually go and protest. But obviously with limits. They said there's certain condition where free mixing is not there, or music is not there, or the women are covered properly, and the men are behaving. They're not acting like hooligans or they're not acting like criminals. So the other side, they actually said, and we've had Sheikh al-Hadith in the previous podcast as well, and he categorically said we should do whatever we can, and one of them was being protesting. So yes, but these scholars, I don't know if they are scholars or they are but they claim to be scholars. They say it's categorically haram. I understand where they're coming from. They might be coming from an Arab mindset where there's kingship, where there's kingdom, and there's there's a royal family where you're not allowed to go against them.
Actually, I was thinking the other day, I was actually talking to someone in Germany, and I was thinking in Arab world, in Muslim world, like Muslim world, I think 70% is Arab, right? I've seen protests in Malaysia, I've seen protests in Pakistan, I've seen protest videos from Iraq. Yesterday I saw from another country, Libya, I think so somewhere. But the main hub, which is Saudi, UAE, these kind of, I've seen video from Yemen. But these kind of countries where you said kingship, why there is no some kind of, I'm not saying big protest, like a couple of thousand people, but at least some kind of news that they are protesting in some way, other than I don't know, posting. Even
Because they're not allowed. That's it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. At least they can post on Instagram.
Yes, even that is not allowed.
Oh, is it?
Yes, so they monitor. I think what it is, there's a heavy monitoring. I mean, you saw the famous video between Piers Morgan and that Bassem Youssef.
Yeah.
He's from Egypt.
Yeah.
Why do you think he left Egypt? Because he was quite openly talking about the politicians and what is currently happening.
Yeah.
If you listen to him, he basically said, I had to leave my country. I think he was imprisoned as well for what he said.
Yeah.
So that Egypt is still somewhat diplomatic and somewhat democracy over there. There is no kingship over there, but other countries there's the royal families there. Saudi Arabia is from the Saud family, so all of that. If they allow protest, there's the other reason they say is Islamically as well. I think there's a hadith where it says you're not allowed to go against the current Khalifa or the government.
Government.
So the thing is that they're mixing the two together. They're saying because it's not allowed, you can't say anything against the current government because it is not allowed. So, but then the counter argument is we don't have an Islamic government. This is a kingship. So it's kind of a mix and match.
You have some relatives over there. What do you think? Have you talked to them like in UAE and stuff? Like, is there some kind of...
they're actually very naive. They don't know what's happening
Is it?
in Palestine at the minute, and nobody has spoken to me. Even my immediate blood relationships, nobody has come forward or like even mentioned Palestine once, apart from a couple of people I know. But yeah, like you were saying, first we need to decide what the majority is. If you want to go with the opinion, the majority are saying we have to, like, it's haram to boycott or protest. I went to this Jumu'ah sermon khutbah, and the scholar was saying on the mimbar, he was saying like this is the only thing you can do, and the fact they are stopping you from this, and they're actually putting you behind the bars for being pro-Palestinian or raising your voice, it shows that it does affect the economy back in the days and even now. And he was actually mentioning, it's funny enough, he mentioned Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, that in one of his fatwa was to boycott somebody who was actually oppressing Muslims back in the days. And he goes, if it was affecting the non-Muslims back in the days from 1200 years ago, this today, in this day and age, is definitely going to have an impact on the economy and the people who are oppressing at the minute.
Well, one thing which comes out of this, I just literally thought about it now, that how we say, in West, the media is controlled by the powers. I think so. It's the same thing in Arab world, no?
Yes.
So the media is controlled. Yes. Even the social media is controlled. Yes. Because you have heard that some people, they go to Saudi Arabia, they can't even talk on WhatsApp.
No, I'm part of this WhatsApp group which has a mixture of people. They are in different countries, but majority is in the Arab world, and they're not posting anything about Palestine. It's me who's posting about things about Palestine, but compared to the UK groups, the UK, whoever's in UK, I don't know if it's the same thing with Pakistan, but the Pakistani group, but I've noticed that they're not posting anything, or even if I post anything, there is no response. All they talk about is World Cup, what is happening in Cricket World Cup, and they're sharing about that, or again sharing funny videos or something that is happening, which is very as if nothing is happening in Palestine. It's I've noticed that big time, and these people are not just from Arab world; they're also sitting in Pakistan, and some are actually in US as well. So this group is completely silent compared to the UK.
So how would you compare UK, where there is kingship, versus Saudi kingship or UAE kingship?
What do you mean compare?
With the freedom of expression? Like, I know they have in the past they have used it for wrong reasons. Yes. Like even now it's been used for wrong reasons. Like yesterday there was a protest of these other right wing, how do you
the thing is that
Tony Robinson
the thing is that we are supposed to, as far as I know, look, there's a famous hadith where there's during Umar radiallahu anhu's time, when he wanted to put a cap on the mahar, where he wanted to limit the mahar because the women were asking for a lot of mahar. And then he said, we are thinking of putting a limit on the mahar. And one of the women, from when she was in the gathering, she stood up and she said, I'm paraphrasing, who is Umar to change what Allah has not changed? So basically, and then Umar radiallahu anhu said, the woman is right and Umar is wrong. And this is the Khalifa of that time, where I've heard even the name of the woman is not known. So it was like some random woman. So it goes to show there was freedom of expression when, if Khalifa was going against Quran and Sunnah, the people did hold them responsible. It's not like they didn't hold them responsible. I can think of another one where the Umar radiallahu anhu was so strict. Even like one time he was delayed in the Jummah Salah, where he was about to deliver the khutbah. And they said, you being the Khalifa, why are you delayed? And then they saw, he said, basically, I was waiting for my clothes
Yeah,
to dry.
yeah.
And then they said, how come you get 2 pieces of clothes where everyone has to get? He goes, no, I borrowed it from my son or someone, some
Yeah.
relative. So basically, they were asking him constantly that, what are you doing? So there is that, where I think the differentiation is basically where an Ahl al-Ilm is asking compared to a commoner is asking. The comparison is that over here, we let everyone vote, Tom, Dick, and Harry, which they have no clue, what the policies are, what the rulings are. I think in the Islamic system, there is like a shura. There's a concept of shura. There's a concept of people who know what they're doing, and then they kind of consult and all of that. But that freedom of expression is there in Islam,
But,
but
not in today's
not
Arab world.
in the. It's very limited.
It's
For me,
actually quite limited.
it's very limited.
But then again, questions got to be: what is an Islamic kingdom compared to a non-Islamic kingdom?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a big question.
No, this was only regarding freedom of expression,
Yes.
because I just thought literally when you were saying this that I follow obviously is Instagram
Yes.
and all those. I follow all those kings and their sons in UAE, like the king and the son. I follow them. Never seen any single post,
Yes.
like just out of humanity,
Yeah. I mean, they're very smart. It's not that they're not very smart.
No, they are smart.
Yeah. So Allah's given them the brains because, if you look at the Arab world, they were nothing in 30 years ago. It was literally a desert. But you look at it now, the way they're economically improved, great. Like everyone gives an example of the safety of their economics and how they behave. Everything is very good. People say, why do you leave your Arab countries? Even in UK, people are flying to UK or European countries, but when they hear that people are coming from Arab world, they say, why the hell are you coming here? So they have certain standards. I mean, certain things are working. Don't get me wrong. Yes, freedom of expression is limited, but then you have the control as well. So,
But don't you think one more thing is that the time changes? Like I've seen you ask the people who came here 40 years back, 50 years back, these places like America and UK were the best places in the world regarding finance, making money, regarding security, regarding all those kind of aspects. But now the time has changed and those things are being shifted to that part of the world. And some people will even argue that all those stuff you see now there, which is very inspiring, the buildings, the system, and all those things are imported from Western world. They got lucky was they found oil. That, like not even themselves.
I mean, no, I wouldn't say
Like there's a
lucky.
big argument.
No, I mean, maybe you can second this. I mean, we all come from Pakistan. We know Pakistan is a resource-rich country. It literally has everything. It has. You go to the northern parts, it's beautiful over there. There's mountains and everything. You go to there's desert as well, like Sibi, and there's salt mines. One of the largest salt mines.
Coal mines.
Coal mines. You talk about resourcing. Pakistan is very rich, but what's the GDP now? It's rubbish. So
What's the root?
so that's why I'm comparing. Where if you compare it to the Arab world, they only have oil, just oil, and from there they are one of the richest countries in the world. So it's
the
again,
only thing is they are not corrupt. I think so.
Yes.
In my opinion,
You
they
know,
are not
then
corrupt.
another thing is people actually mix the two together. So in Dubai, it's basically different to Abu Dhabi. So Dubai does not rely on the money from oil. It's less than 10% reserve, and the rest is their tourists. So the tourism that goes there and that brings the money in, and people actually confuse it with the oil for the Dubai and all of the Middle East, as a matter of fact. Whereas in Dubai, the leadership there is very visionary. They know they have to bring in the money and how to bring it. They've given every single thing to cater the needs of every single person who's going there for the purpose of holidays. That's how they're making their money. Whereas Abu Dhabi, on the other hand, they actually rely on the oil reserves. So they haven't got that much tourists. But Dubai, when it comes to Dubai, the leadership is very visionary. They know what they're doing and they know how to bring the money in.
and especially, I mean, we may be digressing a bit, but then if you look at, they look after their own people. So if you're a citizen of the Arab country, and if they're well off, they really look after you. Not like even in being in UK, we pay so much taxes. I know they get concessions in shopping, in gas, in electricity, in water, literally everything. Even I heard when they get married, they get a house. So even they get married second time, they still get a house.
But
So
that's only
for the
for
local,
the royal.
For the
no,
nationals.
no, no, for the nationals, for
For the
normal
national.
local
How many
people.
are there? A million? Less
Whatever,
than a million.
whatever
Whatever the
there
number
is,
is.
whatever the number is. So the thing is that if they were uncomfortable, like we left our countries because maybe our forefathers were uncomfortable living there economically, maybe
Financially,
financially, maybe they didn't like the system. Even the system's corrupt now. So the people who are living over there, they're living comfortable life. Why would they have a problem with the government? So you need to understand the mentality as well. Like if you are very comfortable, if we were very comfortable even living in UK, why would we complain about the government? Why would we even care what is happening in the world? We'll maybe care, but because my life is all settled in, I wouldn't really bother much. So there is that, when we say where is the Arab world, the thing is that they're really looked after. And then when you mention like people, like places like Egypt, maybe Morocco and stuff like that, over there is poverty there for the local people. So if you really want to do comparison, in my opinion, that's why you see a bit less of people showing concern about what is happening in the world compared to what is happening over here. So that's the comfort zone as well.
But why your comfort zone have anything to do with standing with humanity or standing with your brothers and sisters?
This is the thing. They just it's probably it doesn't even come to their mind because they're so comfortable.
Or they are not aware. Fully
Maybe they're
aware.
not aware. Maybe.
Well, I highly
Because-
doubt it. I
Huh?
highly doubt it.
What?
Like every single person on the face of the earth today is aware of what's happening in Palestine.
Yeah, but don't you think it's wrong that if I'm in, let's say, if I'm in my comfort zone, whatever, I don't mind. I'm living in UK, USA, UAE. I have enough money. I'm comfortable, but still, this news gets to me. That is not an excuse that I'm comfortable. That's why I won't be post or I won't stand up.
But the thing, it depends because
Because in the same scenario, if you see, I even follow some influencers from UAE. I guess they are not nationals or whatever citizens, but they live there and they raise their voices.
but that's the thing. They're not the nationals.
Yeah, but still they are comfortable. They're good.
No. But
They
this
make
is the
good
thing.
money.
But they only raise their voices because probably they're not programmed that way from childhood, where they are brought up in a very comfortable home where they say, look, the government is everything. They look after you, the police and they do. It's not that they don't. So it's and you if you like if we when we came from, for example, say Pakistan, we have a completely different mindset now. So if you talk to people who's always lived in Pakistan, you will know the difference that they're not thinking the way you think because you have had Western influence. Same thing with them. If they can go to holidays, they can enjoy everything what was happening, but they don't have the same mentality. They don't have the same concern. I think they don't have it.
Okay, I have a different point of view. I think they are in some kind of insecurity or complex because the thing is, I used to work in London and I used to be around, like well-off Arabs all the time because I used to be. It was a requirement of my job. I used to work for Emirates Airline, and I used to be in first class lounge and business class lounge and all those things. So I saw like in those times they were too much into like I've literally seen people flying all the way just to buy a single bag,
Yes.
like a branded bag or whatever. Now, if I think even if I get, I know I don't have money, that kind of money, and then obviously I can't maybe imagine the same feeling what they have now. Like, but still I can at least imagine that, like if I have something closer to that money, I won't have that insecurity or complex that I would fly to another country just to buy. Like that shows, that kind of reflects what
They-
their mentality is,
I would say
because
that's
there's also a hadith. I was watching Dr. Israr. He was mentioning that when it's close to the Dajjal and like the Day of Judgment, the Muslims will be too much into they will be too much into wealth, they will be too much into money, and they will be scared of death.
yes.
There will be so much fear of death. and that will change the whole because these are the two things which actually shaitan, it's directly related to shaitan, you know. Shaitan wants you to not to be scared of that,
Yes.
and you want to live forever. On the other hand, shaitan also wants you to be uh, very much into dunya, wealth, bags, and all these
Yes.
kind of things. Now you have seen recently here there is all this campaign of boycott. I don't know if you have. I don't know. I've got no news from UAE or whatever that part of the world. But at least in USA, UK, you can see so many testimonies. The people, they are literally boycotting all these kind of.
Yeah.
Yesterday, in the protest, during the protest, there was a Cafe Nero and Pret and Manger and all those shops, and the protesters were trying to go in because I don't know, they were feeling like a coffee or something, and there were people literally there. They were like, "Don't go in." So
But-
and then they stopped. You know, they show the video. They were empty.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the video. You know, I'm moving from the Middle East, Jordan, Middle East. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it is, but then it was actually the news where the Starbucks and McDonald's are actually empty now. They're literally empty. They were showing videos, and they said that they have security guard. It's so busy. They used to have security guards outside a food place because they get so busy. They have to manage the queue and everything.
Now there's no one there.
There's no, it's empty.
Yeah.
They're saying it's completely empty. So maybe again in some parts of the world, of the Arab world, it's working. The boycott is working. And I remember, this is my personal experience. This is when I was a kid and when I was living in Dubai. I went to the shop to buy something. It just reminded me. And I think something happened during at that time that maybe Holland did something, the anti-Islamic or something. And I was not aware of this. At that time, there's no internet, no media, nothing. I went to buy something, and there was an Arab kid. He came and he said, "I want like a cream or something." And the guy gave it, and he goes, "Is it from Holland?" And he goes, "Yes, it is." And he said, "I don't want it." This is maybe 20 years ago. So maybe there is that boycott, but it is not public. So there's that as well. But when we are living over there, we have experienced that. There is that certain, and there was no news. Honestly, there was no news. TV was very limited. No internet. No social media. So maybe sometimes we need to talk to people saying directly who are living over there. Is there any sort of
Yeah, you're right. Actually, maybe these kind of things, they don't really come on social media. You know.
Yes.
Like maybe but the thing which comes on social media is at the same time there is a conflict. Well, it's not a conflict; it's a genocide. There are concerts in Saudi,
Yes.
like literally. This is not a fake news or something. You know, there are concerts going on in UAE, in Saudi, and I've literally watched live videos of Arabs like dancing in their, their
Yes,
dresses and
yes.
stuff. At the same time, someone posted a video of both videos from Palestine
Yeah.
and that videos
Yeah.
next to each other. You know,
Yeah.
it was painful. You know.
Yeah.
We need to understand one thing. Rasulullah sallallahu
Sallallahu
alaihi
alaihi
wasallam already mentioned a time would come when the Arab would compete to the nearest mean. They would compete in building the tallest buildings. And like you were discussing, both of you, I think to wrap it up, like every single country in the world, they need to survive in the economy. And they want to have the good relationships and ties with the neighboring countries, especially when it comes to America and all the superpowers. So I think even if they want to do something about it, they can't, they hide. And this is exactly what happened to Imran Khan as well. The minute he spoke against Americans, he was taken off. And he is still nowhere to be found. So I think to wrap it up, I would say it's just like they want to do something, but they can't. And on the other hand, the concert thing you're mentioning is just literally to bring some money in the country. And that's pretty much about it, I would say.
Actually, from this to unwrap it, I was traveling in a taxi the other day in Manchester.
Can you afford a taxi?
Yeah, it was company. It was company paid.
Okay.
So this guy, it was Uber. It was not London taxi. You know. So this guy, he was a Indian, I think so, from Gujarat, Muslim. So we had introduction, and then he was like, we started talking about the cricket matches, World Cup, and he asked me. I was like, no, bro. To be honest, I'm not that much into cricket anyway. But because of the things going on in the world, I don't really pay attention that much because there's more things to worry about. And then suddenly he brought out, we from there we went into a bit of Palestine and all this situation. And he, out of nowhere, said this statement, made a statement that, brother, Imran Khan, he's in. I was like, yeah, man, unfortunate. Now, he said that he's Indian from Gujarat. He said that they put him in few months before the conflict, so that because he was speaking too much about it. And he is one of the few leaders in the world who would take action. And then I was sitting in the back seat and I was like, oh, wow, I never thought about it. And then after that, when I left, and from that day onwards, I was thinking maybe you never know in future, once this thing kind of settles down, they bring him out of nowhere. If this happens, then it will prove the point of that taxi driver. But I never thought about it like that way.
We have a conspiracy theorist.
You never know. Because like eventually all these conspiracy theories, they become facts after some time when they're
Yeah.
proven,
Yeah.
But the thing is, end of the day, because they control everything, so they don't let it out as a fact. They keep it under the umbrella of conspiracy, But it could, you never know what's happening at the back.
Yes, true.
The same thing, you never know. The things we are discussing every day, if you see from their point of view, it's all conspiracies. Because they will be like, it's common sense that they have this Iron Dome. How can people literally fly through human beings, fly through the Iron Dome and kill people?
Yeah. Yes.
Now they will say it's conspiracy, but you will be like, it's common sense.
Yes.
Because you have IDF, you have all these
Yes.
world's best, technology.
Yes.
And then how come you show a video
That
and
they're
make
coming.
people fool? They're flying with the thingy, So you never know what's gonna come out,
I was watching this video this morning. I was watching the video, and this lady, she came back from Israel, and she goes, "I've been to the coast where the Gaza Strip is," and she goes, "It's really worrying and saddening to see the wall they have built around it, just to keep them in there." And then he goes, "The surveillance, the CCTV cameras there, the check post, you name it." He goes, even the cameras, they're pointing in their backyards, even in their bedrooms. So how can you imagine like somebody out of nowhere attacked Israeli government and they haven't got the the best of the weapons, or you name, like, how can I attack somebody superpower with the handmade grenades or you just like weapons or whatever. But the point is, like you said, a lot of people are gonna say this is conspiracy theory. I'm not saying it happened or not. I'm not an expert to comment on that. But the thing is, it doesn't justify the collective punishment what they're doing. It does not justify in any way.
I mean, it's common sense, isn't it? Okay, they say that 1,200 people were killed, yeah, and it's been over a month now. How many more people have been killed from Israel? How many? None, isn't it? So I mean, it's common sense. They've killed more than 10,000 people, and one third they're saying they're kids. And how many thousands and thousands has been displaced from that place as well. I mean, the whole world can see, anyone can see with a bit of common sense that this is not an equal response.
That's true.
This is not an equal response. This is not like they call it self-defense, quote unquote self-defense. How is this self-defense? Who are they defending against now? They're saying we want to wipe out Hamas completely. I mean, you wiped out 90% of the population. Yes, that's not wiping out Hamas. So and there's also this argument. This keeps repeating again and again and again. So this is not the solution.
Yeah.
How is this the solution? They kill one, you kill 100. And it has never worked in the past. How can it work in the future?
But then again, if you keep hitting me, and the point comes, you've been hitting me for the last 10, 15 years, a point's going to come where I'm going to resist.
Yes.
Yeah. And then if I resist, he's going to be saying, oh, you know what? He's a terrorist.
Yes.
Or he's anti-Semitic. He want to kill Brother Saud.
Yeah.
How does that work out? And it's not like it happened the 7th of October. It's been happening for the last 75 years. And it's not like the Palestinians come out to protest every single day. They only come out when they are dropping bombs on that. You know, it just happened in October when the killing. That's when they came out, and I was just watching this Ben Shapiro who went to Oxford University and having a debate with the students. She was like, "Oh, you said from river to the sea, free Palestine." He goes,
Yeah.
"What do you mean?" And she told, like, obviously, this is what I mean. He goes, "Oh, you anti-Semitic. You want to
Yeah.
wipe up." So basically, saying you want to kill all the Jews.
Yeah.
Where does that come out from?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. But it explains every single thing to you, what's happening in the world, and how every single person, if he's got any influence in power, they've got two-faced.
Yeah.
They've got different set of rules for poor or the oppressed ones
Yeah.
compared to the one who's got the power and who's evil.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, man, it's sad. Everyone who is watching and listening, you just need to they, there were a million people out yesterday. There was no violence, nothing negative. It was all positive. Not a single arrest was done yesterday, like literally. So it's not about promoting violence and all these kind of things. But at least you need to stand up and talk about these kind of things, because end of the day, this will have impact.
Inshallah.
If you have in mind that there is no impact, we are sitting in our homes, our comfort zone, and all those kind of things, it's not true. It will have impact. Whatever, they're gonna at least think about, like, so many people are out. We need to do some kind of ceasefire, even though it's too late. But it's never too late.
Yeah.
So many people have been killed, but still, we can stop further killings and all these kind of things happening in the future. Yeah, that's it for today. We'll see you in next video. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.